Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi, I'm Joe Keenan, the editor-in-chief of Total Retail. I am happy to be joined on this episode of Total Retail Talks by Deanna Hernandez, who is the Senior Manager of Digital Offers and Loyalty at McDonald's. We're here at CRMC, and we're going to talk to Deanna about all the great work that her and her team are doing at McDonald's in terms of the digital engagement that they're creating with their customers. So thanks for joining me, Deanna.
Thanks, Joe. Happy to be here.
So I mentioned your title. There's probably a lot of things that you do on a day-to-day basis. So maybe talk a little bit about your specific role at McDonald's.
Yeah, happy to. So I've been at McDonald's a little bit over 2 years. And as you mentioned, oversee offers and loyalty. So think of it as like digital value. Like how are we giving our customers the right value at the right time? So really integrated with our loyalty program. So is it points? Is it offers? And actually my role is shifting a little bit and now also getting a really strong focus on how digital integrates with our big calendar moments. So you think about some of our past partnerships like Cardi B, BTS. And so how does digital play a bigger role in that, knowing that our customers are leveraging digital more often?
Yeah, that's actually a good segue into the next question I have for you, Deanna, in terms of you've seen customers leveraging digital more often to interact with McDonald's. So what behavior shifts have you seen and how has it evolved as it relates to the digital interactions that you're creating for those customers based on their behaviors?
Yeah, well, digital has probably grown across the industry, right? And after post-COVID or during COVID, we saw that really accelerate for all of us as well. Ways that we're leveraging that on our side is to make sure we're thinking about the customer first and their digital behaviors. So things like making sure when you come to the restaurant, it's seamless when you're going through the drive-thru. If you're mobile ordering and paying ahead, making sure that experience is easy. Just this past year, we integrated delivery in our app as well. So you can get delivery straight from our app, earn our points as well. So really just making sure that we're designing that digital experience with that customer in mind and how they're shopping with us.
Have you seen a correlation between digital users and then their loyalty to McDonald's in terms of in my mind, I'm thinking people that are engaging with McDonald's through some of those digital tools and channels that you've created are going to be probably some of your more loyal repeat customers.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
No, of course. And I think this is across the industry, but particularly at McDonald's, those that leverage our digital channels and our loyalty program are more engaged. We see that their frequency or shopping is higher. We see the retention is higher. And so we're constantly trying to get most of our customers to use our digital channels to drive that engagement across the brand.
So you spoke here at the CRMC about loyalty programs and what you're doing to kind of position McDonald's to be successful in that space. So tell us what for McDonald's a successful loyalty program looks like.
Yeah, so we launched our national loyalty program in July of 2021. And a couple of things come to mind in terms of a successful loyalty program. I think the table stakes are, foundationally, what you need to do is lead with the customer. Make sure you're thinking about that customer experience and designing around it. McDonald's serves most of America, so we have a lot of customers we're looking at. We're really thinking about holistically, how do we make it easy for them to purchase from us? Other things to consider is the impact across the organization, right? How are we making sure that our crew members at the restaurant know how to talk about the program? How our operators in the field know how to talk about the program? So making sure everyone else is brought along. But I think the one thing to note is making sure that the holy grail of loyalty programs, which is that data, that we're leveraging that to really maximize our program. So ensuring you have the right MarTech stack and you can access that data to make better marketing decisions.
So I guess part of that data equation is collecting feedback from your customers. So you're obviously observing their behavior, but you're also probably asking and they're telling you some things that they want from a loyalty program or want from some of the digital interactions that they're having. Can you talk a little bit about how that factors into best serving the wants and needs of your customers and really listening to their feedback and then potentially taking action upon it?
Yeah, that's a great point there. We're constantly looking at the feedback that we're getting from our customers and still doing both quantitative and qualitative research on our customers to understand how we can continuously optimize our program, because these loyalty programs aren't one and done, right? They're a constant evolution, they're a constant optimization. And so we're leveraging that quite a bit. I can't share too much. There's a couple of things in the works in the second half of the year, but know that we are going to be making some tweaks to our program to make it more customer friendly based on their feedback.
And then how about from the perspective of your restaurants, your operators that are out there in the field? Tell us a little bit about how you're trying to connect the digital experiences that your customers are having, and then when they get into a restaurant location, that the people in the store, your associates, your store operators, are able to fulfill what you've essentially told them they're going to be receiving.
Yeah. And we touched on this in our session, but I think the one piece here to note is constant education and receiving feedback. And what I mean by that is training our crew, training our operators is a massive undertaking, right? We have more than 10,000 locations across the US. And so we put a lot of resources and energy in making sure they understood the program, they can talk to the program, they can get excited and tell our customers about the program, because they're at the front lines, right? They're having that one-on-one dialogue with our customers. So that is key and something we're still investing in and making sure that we're giving them the tools that they need to be successful there. But the other piece that you mentioned is getting that feedback. Because they are on the front lines, they can give us direct feedback of, we're seeing this issue come through over and over again. Can you help us with that? Or we're getting this piece of feedback, or customers are really excited about XYZ. For example, last month we did a Big Mac sauce drop exclusive to our loyalty members in our app. We got tons of positive feedback from our operators of like, they love this. More exclusive access is what they're really excited about. So find ways to integrate that in the future. And we're definitely taking that to heart.
Yeah, that's a great example. I'm thinking of just the scale of the McDonald's organization, how much collaboration is probably potentially needed across, your team's working with so many others to get these campaigns and programs up and running, and then not only just executing it, but then measuring and collecting feedback. Just talk, briefly about that in terms of, because I think, it's hard to almost fathom the scale at which you need to be operating at.
Yeah, I think that's a fascinating point. And being newer to the brand in the last few years, it's one we can't underestimate. The brand is huge. The scale is immense. And so collaboration is almost like it runs through your blood at this point. Like, you need to be able to collaborate with your internal partners. Think about loyalty. It touches legal, it touches operations, it touches digital, it touches brand, it touches all of our internal teams. So collaboration is key, but also to our external stakeholders. So if it is our operators, if it is our field team, if it is all of the teams, right? This loyalty program works across all of the organization. And so collaboration is something that we do every day, every minute almost, and making sure everyone is on the same page.
So you mentioned a rather new loyalty program at McDonald's, a couple of years old at this point. You've seen, you've gained some solid traction there and got a lot of engagement. What advice might you have for others that are thinking about starting a loyalty program and getting it up and going? What is a piece of advice you might share there?
Yeah, I think there's probably three pieces. One, if you're thinking about a loyalty program, definitely put some thought into that business case. Make that business case solid and make sure leadership is aligned to it. You don't want to get in a place where you launch a program and a year later you're like, what did it do? What does success look like? For McDonald's, our key business case was around new digital customers or new loyalty customers. It was about growing the business and driving penetration to the holistic organization. So be very clear of what you want to achieve and make that clear in your business case is one. I think two is having that MarTech stack ready, right? The holy grail of these programs is that data. And so how are you making sure that you can, one, store that data somewhere, and then two, access it to leverage it. And so making sure you put resources there is key. And the third piece that I think I mentioned about a little bit ago is that education. So bringing everyone along internally and externally, and making sure everyone is supporting, giving the resources, giving the communication, all of those pieces to drive success.
Yeah, and I think that point two around the MarTech stack, like that could be a whole episode in itself. We could probably talk another
100%.
half hour about that.
Yeah.
But I want to I want to take the opportunity to thank Deanna Hernandez, who is the Senior Manager of Digital Offers and Loyalty at McDonald's, for joining us on this episode of Total Retail Talks.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talk.